for my dreaming soap. Welcome to my channel. Now this lovely lady is Jean, and Jean is Paul's mum, and Jean is very excited to make her first ever soap, aren't you? So we've already decided on the fragrance, and we're going to use black plum and rhubarb from Candle Shack, and we've decided on our colours, and we'll have a look at those in a minute. So come on, let's go and make some soap. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is prepare our colours. So this is Emerald Shimmer from Mica Mama. So we need to weigh out 3.3 grams of that, and I am going to get you to put that in that little silver pot because that's going to be our main base colour.
Okay.
Okay. So if you take 3.3 grams out of that and pop it in the little silver pot.
How do I know?
So just keep your eye on the scale, that's it. And can you see when it goes to minus 3.3, then you know you've got enough.
Quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's surprised how light it is. Can you see you've gone over there, 3.9, so you need to pop a bit of that back. 3.8, need a bit more back in. There, perfect.
3.3.
3.3, perfect.
Okay.
Right. So we've done that one, so that's great.
Oh, I better put... That's it.
Let's just give that spoon a little wipe off so we keep everything clean. Right, so there's that, and then we need to do that again, but less amounts, because that was going to be for our main base colour,
yes.
yeah. And so Sunshine Yellow now, my favourite yellow. So again, I've put that to naught. So remember with that, we said we wanted 1.5 grams of that. So again, same thing. Then our Ooh La La. And then, now,
Oh, that's liquid.
I know. What happens with this, a neon colour, what happens with a neon is the powder that you get is in bigger granules.
Right.
And it's much more difficult to make it disperse nicely in your soap. So what I do is I make up a solution where I've already sort of processed it and dispersed it so that it's a lot easier. Now you can either pour it straight in, because we can always take some out if you overshoot a bit, but 8.8 grams or something close to that will be fine. Yeah, 3.5, a bit more. Okay, so now we've weighed out those colours. This one we don't need to do anything to because it's already been turned into a liquid.
Yes.
These other ones, what we want to do is we want to what we call disperse them in some oil. And the reason we want to do that, you know, like when you add corn flour to a liquid,
yes.
If you don't put it in some water first, it's really difficult to mix in,
yes,
isn't it?
It goes up.
Now mica mixes in a lot better, but it's still not that easy to do, and sometimes you have to blend it extra. So it's always best to pre-mix it with a little bit of oil. So all we need to do is just take a little bit of our oil. So you can either just pour a tiny bit in. So I would just show you with this one how much. Just a little, enough to sort of mix it in. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so something about that much.
A teaspoon.
Yeah, that'll do. And then so pour a bit in there. And what we're doing here is we're just using some of the oil just from our recipe, so it doesn't change the recipe at all. It's just, and then a little bit in here. That's it. Maybe a little bit more because we've got more stuff in that. It'll just take. And then all we need to do is just grab a spatula. That's it, and it'll mix in nicely. So you grab that one, and I'll grab that one, and just careful because it will puff up first of all while it's a powder. That's it.
Oh, this is.
And they go really pretty, don't they? Beautiful they look lovely in oil.
It is a fuchsia pink, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, so and you can see that that's just mixed in really nicely, hasn't it? There's no dry bits of powder.
No.
And this will be much easier for us to now pop in our soap.
Beautiful. Love it.
Fragrance oil, let's weigh that out. So we wanted 33 grams of our black plum and rhubarb. So that's in that silver bottle out there. Close. Tiny bit more. 34.2, so I just put a tiny bit back. And again, this is for personal use, you know, we could have left it at that, but
Yeah.
we're doing it properly, so we learn properly. Right, so we are now ready with all our stuff. That's it, excellent cleaning. Right, so let's check. We've got our mould.
Yes.
We've got our hanger tool. Okay, so we're happy. Do you want a little play with that first? Okay, so just get the feel of it. So what you're going to want to do is try and make some swirly patterns. Okay, so it's quite funny to use, isn't it? So
Do I have to go right round?
it's up to you how you do it, but the best way to get a good design is if you, because if you think we're going to pour the soap in and you sort of want to mix it, so I try and hold it a bit there.
Oh, crossways.
So yeah,
Yes.
so it's not wobbling, and then just sort of do like, you can either do like figure of eights or little wiggle, however you like.
I see.
But yeah, just get a little bit of play and a little bit of a feel of it. That's it.
Do the hokey
That's it.
cokey.
And bear in mind, if you just do that like you were just doing, it's just going to mix the same bit of soap again and again.
Oh.
So what you want, that's it. You want to be moving it around. That's it. A nice swirly pattern, or an up and down, or a figure of eight, or something. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Up, down, round. So you're moving it, always moving it through the soap, not just going over the same bit again and again. I mean, there's that. I mean, if you find that awkward to use, what you can do instead is just use a stick and then just sort of, that's it, just literally do this and just sort of do that sort of thing. That might be
fun. Yeah.
that sort of thing. You can even sort of go along. Yeah. Which do you think you prefer?
I think I like
Stick.
Yes.
We're not doing a hanger swirl, we're going to do a stick swirl.
Stick
then.
swirl. So what do I aim for this time?
Okay, so now we're going to put in our sodium lactate, and we want 14.5 grams. Okay, there's. And this will just help us with the bar. It will just harden up quicker so that we can unmold it tomorrow. We've now carefully weighed out our lye solution. We're going to pop this. Oh. Pop the sodium lactate into the lye, and really with the sodium lactate it kind of doesn't matter whether you put it in here or you put it in here.
No.
It is technically water soluble,
Yeah.
so that's why I always put it in here.
Yeah.
But if you put it in the oils, the lye ends up in the oils with the water anyway, so
Yes.
it all gets mixed in, so it's going to be fine. Okay, so remember, this is our dangerous one that we don't want to stick our face in or anything. And we've all got our safety glasses on and our goggles.
Gloves. Yep.
Okay, so now we need to add the lye carefully to the oils. And we've already, as you can see, we've already weighed out the oils, and it's all been explained, hasn't it, why we're using these oils. So what we're going to do is just take a spatula and just pop it in, hold it there, because what we want to do is we need to try as carefully as we can to not introduce air into this soap.
Oh.
And it's only a cosmetic thing, because if you want a nice smooth bar of soap, it shouldn't have holes in it.
No.
Because if you have an air pocket, an air bubble, then it will leave you with a hole in, a bit like, you know, like when you have a crumpet or something.
Yes,
And you don't
yes.
want soap that looks like that. So the less air we can put in here,
Okay.
the better. So what we do is, by holding our spatula like this,
Oh, I
and
see. And
pouring
pour
the
it
lye
down
onto
the
the spatula,
spatula.
it sort of breaks its fall
Yes,
a bit.
yes,
So,
yes.
okay, do you want to have a go with that? I mean, it's not the end of the world if we get some bubbles in there. Okay, so make sure that's it. Pour that in. Well done. That's it. And that just,
Should I keep going?
that's it. Yeah, that's perfect. And what that's doing is it's trickling the
Yes.
lye into there
Rather
rather
like-
than it.
Rather than like pulling a paint, isn't it?
That's it.
So
Yeah,
you
it's
don't get too
that's
much.
it. So if you just let it dump in, and it
yeah, it
introduces a load
gets
of
too
air.
much head on it. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so let's put this out the way safely, because
Do I stir?
you can give it a little stir. Yep.
Little stir. Right.
But we're going to blend that.
Okay.
Okay, so there's the base
So
of our soap.
that's soap base.
So we're going to put the stick blender in, but again, we want to try not to introduce air.
Oh, no.
And
Yeah, so
obviously
it's
with a stick
gentle.
blender, it could trap air under there. And can you
Yeah.
see with mine, I've actually drilled, or Paul for me,
Oh,
drilled
yes.
a hole in it.
Yeah.
So as you put the blender in, it will actually release
Yeah.
the air through there. So if you pour that in
I
slowly,
understand. Yes.
that's it. And then what we do is we do something called burping the stick blender.
Oh.
So if you tap it against the side
Yes.
and give it a little bang down and whatever, that's it. Give it a bang. That's it. And any bubbles that are trapped under that bell of the blender
Oh,
will
I
come
see.
out. Okay, so
I
give
see.
it a bang. Give it a bang. That's it. Can you see little bubbles coming out?
No.
Oh, right. There are little bubbles coming out, and see that's going to be fine. And that again, these are just things that are nice things to do. They're not
Yeah.
completely necessary.
No.
Right. So now we're going to blend this up.
So,
now,
which of these knobs do I press?
right. So it's just it's got different powers on it,
Oh.
but it's just this one button. So the harder you push it, the faster it goes.
I see.
But we want to go quite slow.
Okay.
Okay. So just get yourself comfortable with that. That's it. And give it a blend. Okay. Let it move around a little bit. That's it. And just try and keep it below the level
Yeah.
of the oil, so we don't again put in a load of oil. Sorry,
Air. Yeah.
Well
got
done.
It. Got it.
Okay.
Oh,
That's it. I know.
fast.
Yeah. Okay, so just stop a second and then do a stir around with the stick blender, because can you look, if you look on the side, can you see
Oh,
it's
I can
blended
see
at the
it,
bottom,
yes.
but it hasn't blended at the top. So let's give it a bit of a stir again, give it a mix in, because we need to obviously get the whole lot blended in together. Okay, give it another go. That's it. And maybe try and lift up a little bit. I mean, if you come out, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. But we've got to get these top oils blended in. Okay, so lift up a little bit because you're just blending the bottom. That's it. Can you see it's mixing in now? Much better. That's better.
Yeah. I can see now.
That's
oh,
better.
Yeah,
and
that's
again,
perfect.
lift it up a little bit. There. That's better. Perfect. Okay, I think that's probably going to do us for now.
Lovely.
Now I'm just going to take this off. This is really tricky to get off, so it's just a safety thing again, because we don't want to leave the stick blender standing in here.
No.
Because it'll tip the jug over,
Of
and
course. Yes.
then we'll have lye all over the place, which we
Yeah.
really don't want. Right, so let's give this a little bit of a stir round. Now, what we're looking for here is to make sure all our oils and lye have emulsified. Do you know what that term means? Like, you know, when you make a mayonnaise, you blend it.
Blend,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. And what we're looking for, when something's emulsified, it means that because we know water and oil don't like to mix, do they?
No.
But when they're emulsified, it means
Yeah.
they've bonded together
Yeah.
and they're not going to split
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
So we need to check to see, we need to be at the stage when they're not going to split apart, because what we don't want to do is pour this in the mould
And then it's
and
gonna
then they'll all split apart, and
divide.
then you've got a nice layer of lye.
Yeah.
That'll be lovely, won't it?
Yeah.
Right, so how I do that is I tend to just tip the jug up a little bit
Yeah.
so that I get a layer of soap on the side there.
Oh, yes.
And what we do is we're going to just leave that for 30 seconds or a
to
minute.
see if it drains and separates
That's
or
it,
not.
and you'll
Yeah.
see that it'll either stay nice and homogenised, i.e.
Yeah,
bonded together, or it will start to split apart.
Yeah.
So this is the time I normally have a cup of tea.
Oh, right. Yeah. Head
So
on.
we
Head on
have
tea.
tea that Paul brought us.
Got cold
Have a
now.
slurp on our tea. So yeah, so I'll just turn this off. Right, so we're happy that we've got an emulsified batter, haven't we? And what we've done is we've worked out that to divide this up, we want just under 300 millilitres in each of these jugs. So we've just marked the jugs so we can see it quite clearly. And Mum's going to pour that. Again, try to hit the spatula if you can.
Oh,
because
I
again,
see.
it saves
Yeah.
that, it stops the whole bubble situation. So if you pour it to just below that mark.
Right.
Okay, you can go a little bit quicker if you want. That's fine.
Nearly there.
Perfect. Good. And this one, same thing. Can you see the line there? Yeah.
I can, yes. Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry. Remember, those things are just niceties. You know, if you,
Yeah.
you know, so it's good to have think of those skills when you're starting out. But you know, if you don't do it perfect, it doesn't matter. But it's just nice to be conscious of them, isn't it? So that
Is that about right?
that's perfect. Excellent pouring. Let's get that so you can see the line.
Is it me or is there more of this?
No, I think you're just pouring it slower.
Oh, I see.
It's taking longer. That's all right. That's it. Cool. And so therefore we're happy that that's going to be the green in the base. So
Oh, right.
we can now start mixing these up. Should we both do a bit of mixing?
Yes.
Make sure you're on the video.
Oh, I don't know if I am or
That's
not.
it. There you go. That's all right. Okay, so just...
Oh, that's a lovely
No,
yellow.
that's my favourite yellow. So just make sure we're sort of
it's-
scraping around the bottom
Yeah,
and everything, get
yeah.
it all nicely mixed in.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? I mean, the mica colours are so pretty, aren't they?
Oh, they certainly are.
Smells lovely. We haven't put the fragrance in it yet. I can
No.
smell it over there. Right, so this is that.
Oh, I've got a bubble.
That's all right. Now, good
Not a crime.
It's not a crime, but you could do you pop it, couldn't you, with your spatula? So.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love it.
No, it's not. It's definitely not a crime, but it's just nice.
Why is there not to? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nice to be aware
Yeah,
of it, isn't it?
yeah.
It's better to do that than to pick up a bad habit and then try and correct
Yeah.
it later. If you're always right from the start,
Yeah.
saying, "I'm going to look out for this sort of thing."
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Are you stirred in? Right, so there's those done. They're
I'm a
pretty,
good stirrer.
You are a good stirrer. Excellent. And now we want to take
The lovely
this green. Remember we said this is one that's going to go horrible,
Oh,
isn't it?
oh,
the one that's going to go yucky
this
colour
goes
and then
unpleasant.
turn back. So you want to scrape that into there and then give that a mix up. Beautiful.
Yes.
That's lovely. So give that a good old stir in. And that's it. All that bit that you're up the side there. Give that a nice stir.
Oh, this is looking all right so far. It hasn't gone yuck yet.
I mean, it doesn't go like a vile colour, but it loses this, you know, this lovely bright green
Yes,
it is
the
at the
sharpness.
moment.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But it will come back.
Good.
Okay, so you can carry on stirring that, but what we mustn't forget, which is something people often forget, our smell. And sometimes, so many times you hear people, they pour their soap and then they go, oh no, I left my fragrance oil. They clear up and find their fragrance oil.
Oh.
So
So which one do we put the fragrance on? Or
all
some-
of them.
All of
Because we want it to spread nicely through
Yes,
the
of
soap.
course,
So
yes.
we're just going to, we're just going to guess.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we're going to put a big dollop in there. So you keep stirring that. And then I will just
Do the
add
others.
these in. And so we want to really just make sure it's really mixed in. Because we don't want any big patches of fragrance and then
No.
patches that are
No.
unfragranced. Lovely.
Don't they look-
I know they're really pretty, aren't they? Good choices there.
Thank you.
Good choices. Can you see how this is starting to get thicker?
Oh yes.
This
it
is now what we call a trace. And the reason we call this a trace is because if you take up your spatula and drop the soap in, can you see it actually traces?
Yes,
you
I can
it's
see it
a
makes
trace
patterns. Yes,
there. So it's
yes.
now a trace.
Yes.
And this is when you hear people call the thin trace a thick trace or whatever,
Okay.
depending on how thick this is.
Yeah.
And I think we need to start getting this in the mould now because we don't want it to get too much thicker.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, you're going to do, is you're going to pour pretty well
All of this green.
all of that. Leave a little bit, so into that mould. That's it. And again, just pour it nice and gently. That's it. But don't take too long with it because it's starting to get a bit thick. That's it. Pour it in. Perfect.
Say when.
You've got quite a bit to go yet. We only need to leave a tiny bit. It's a bit stuck in there, isn't it? Let's give it a little help. Right, I think that will do for that.
Okay.
That's it. And then let's get these ones in. So again, what I would do is, just pour a bit here maybe and then pour a bit there. But
Okay.
you want it in quite good blocks. You don't
Right.
want to have like tiny, really thin. Because what we want to do is we want to take a block of colour and then swirl that
Yeah,
through the soap.
yeah,
And if you
yeah.
put tiny little bits,
Yeah.
it's not going to give us a nice
That's
distinct
right.
pattern. So yes,
Okay.
and quite.
So how many blocks would you say? 3 or 4?
Okay, so I'm not sure if we lost any of that. Right, so where are we? Just the last yellow now, haven't we?
Pun?
Have you got any yellow left? Just
Yes.
blob a bit more of that yellow on.
Okay.
Okay, so we're starting to get thick now, so we just
Yes.
need to be careful. Great. That's it, good. Yay.
And then we want green on the top, yes?
We've done all our green, didn't we?
Pretty much.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
There's a tiny blob, isn't there, left? So it's just elegantly splotted there. Right, so now you can do your, so maybe swirl it round, something like you sort of, oops, that's it, that's it, that's it, so you, that's it, good. Perfect. And what you're trying to do is mix the colours from top to bottom,
Yeah.
sort of, so that way is not going to show in the soap. If you mix it that way, you're not going to see the pattern in the soap. So you're trying to sort of pick the soap up, so almost, can you see this sort of angle like this? Try and get your stick at that angle and sort of go like that. So you're sort of, that's it, perfect, that's it. Okay, and then keep coming along. Can you see how it's starting to mix those colours up and give you a lovely swirl? If you need to change hands and change direction, you can do that, so you can get right to this end. That's it, brilliant. Good. That's probably not too much more now, because you don't want to turn it to brown, do you?
No,
you mix
no,
all your colours
no,
together that will go brown.
definitely not all brown. No.
Good. Now we need to bang that down. So grab the mould, bang it on the surface. Okay, so it sort of smooths out a bit. Great.
Should I have done
Yeah,
that?
that's all right. Don't worry, that's fine. So what that does is that obviously evens it out a bit, and also it helps. Can you see there? We had an air bubble and it popped it for us.
Oh,
so
lovely.
that's good.
Lovely.
So what we can now just do is just finish off the top by just scraping out the jugs, just so we're not wasting any soap.
Okay.
So maybe you grab a yellow one or something and just blop it on the top like this. So now we just want to swirl this around. We're just going to use that little stick there. So
How do you recommend
that's it.
doing
Should I just give you a little? I'll just do a little. Just basically, just want to just wiggle it. So just, can you just see that? Just going through there. Look, it sort of swirls.
Oh, yes.
However you fancy. That's it. Yeah. So don't dip it in too far, because you're just trying to muck up the top bit, because we don't want to ruin the design you've done underneath, do you?
No.
That's it. Wiggles and swirls, and that's it. And sort of spread that around a bit. Perfect.
I do like the colours.
They look, don't they?
Get some green over there. Bit of yellow.
There. Happy with that?
Yep.
That's excellent. Right, so now we just need to leave that. So just clean off the side. There, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Okay, so do you want to grab the soap?
Yes.
Okay, so just pop it on there. Okay. So here we are the next day, and it's time to cut our soap. So, Bum, if you just want to line that up, because we've got a little bit of a gap in our soap cutter there. So we just need to have it, just we're using these wires, which is fine, because that's as long as our soap is. We're all right, we're a bit short. Okay, so tuck it nice and straight against that, so it's nice and straight. Good, that's perfect. And now what you want to do is bring the cutter down. You want to go quite slowly. There's no need to try and rush it through, but if you can, and it's quite, if you find it too tough, then just let me know. But as you do it, try and do it as sort of evenly as possible. What you don't want to do is stop.
No,
and then start again, because it'll just leave a
Yeah,
jaggedy bit in the soap. So, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you can do it just nice and evenly. Okay, so just pop it on. That's it. Okay, and then you just push down See, it's quite firm, isn't it? Yeah, you okay? That's it. Brilliant. Well done. It's quite tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now you get to look.
Satisfying.
Now you get to look. You get to look at the best bit. Go. See what they're like inside. Oh. There you are. That's cool. Okay, the end ones are never that great. They're always a bit weird, the end ones. Okay, so have a look. That's it. Hold it up so that you can see on the... No, hold it just like this way. Here. So go like this. There we go. So you can see like that. Cool. So we've got quite a lot of that green in there, haven't we? So
Yes.
have a look at some of the others. That's it. Yeah, after they're swirling through, and again, just bring it round so it just sees, we can just see it there. There we are, like that. There we are. So yeah, so that's patterns coming through. It smells really nice. Can you smell this one? You go.
Yes.
Got your heart. Right,
So-
grab another one. Let's have a look.
It really is fascinating.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
And they're slightly different, aren't they?
These will be
Well, they're
quite
mirror
similar there
images of
because they're
each other,
mirror.
yes,
But when you
yes.
think like just one soap to the other,
Yeah.
where when you think because you did that stick, didn't you?
Yes.
Like that,
Yes, I
through
did.
there.
Yes.
So yeah, it's quite amazing how it all spins together. See, look how different that one is as well. It's
Yes.
quite mad, isn't it?
Yes,
It's quite,
they are.
and
They're
that's why doing swirls are quite. If you bring it forward a little bit, can you see you're not on the camera? That's it.
Where am I? I can't see.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you can see there how, and that's why swirls are really
There is a
fascinating.
difference, isn't there,
That's
between,
right.
say, that yellow and that yellow? Yes.
Yes, because each bar will come out slightly different, which is
Like playing that spot the difference game.
yeah.
Oh, yes. So that's different again,
I know,
isn't it?
amazing, aren't they?
Yes.
That's
Well,
all. You're
right.
not on the camera. Forward. That's it. Forward. Don't we? See, it's hard doing YouTube, isn't it?
Yes,
I know.
it is.
So hopefully people have more appreciation for how hard it is. So what we need to do with these now, you can carry on looking at them, is we need to
Oh, yes, that's different again.
just leave these to sit for
Yeah, all right.
about 4 to 6 weeks. 6 weeks I like to do, but you know, it wouldn't hurt if you start using them after 4. That's it.
No.
Forward. Forward, that's it. Nearly. Sort of come down like this. There we are, like that. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So let's you can see when you put that together, it's just like a grumpy man, and look at his eyes. His eyes and his moustache or something.
Where are our original discs that we chose? Were they over there?
Oh no, they were upstairs in the study.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But yeah, that one
Yes.
was like a
Yeah.
Oh, so can you see his eyes? Eyes and like
Yeah.
like a moustache there or something.
Oh, yes, I can see
You
that.
see?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you just
Absolutely
do last
fascinating.
ones,
Yeah. Oh, and that's yet again different. A blob.
I know, it's so different.
Oh,
That's got a
and
bit
look
of
at
a
that
blob.
pink. There's more of that pink there, isn't
Yeah,
there?
and this was because this was right at the end.
Yes.
And that just means that you perhaps didn't get the stick right to the end.
Right, so it
with
just
that.
stayed
So
in a
stayed
blob.
where you poured it. Yeah.
But that makes variety, doesn't
But
it?
yeah, they're all
The
quite.
spice of life.
There we are. Yeah, and they smell lovely.
Oh, they do. They do. They do.
So there we are.
Well, these are going to be very, very special.
That will keep you clean for a good long time.
Ah, yeah.
There we are.
There. Oh, thank you.
Brilliant. There
Yes.
we go. There's
Now I know.
There's your first. Look how bright that green is. It really comes out bright, doesn't
Yes.
it? There we go. You are going to be well soaped up. for
I
a while.
certainly am. Well, I'm going to perhaps present them to special people
Yeah, that'll be nice.
You know.
And say that you made
So
them. Sounds
I made
good.
that,
You did
or-
make 'em.
with a lot of help from my friend here.
Right, should we say bye-bye to everyone?
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.